Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum and the fact that it has trended back up over $1,200. If you guys like the content, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel in the description below. Let's go for 100,000 subscribers. I think we're going to make it there really soon, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, Ethereum is back at $1,237, $1,238. Why is this? Well, we know why it is. Of course, it's because Bitcoin's flirting with 40K again. And one of the things that we simply do not know yet with Bitcoin is, will we put in a higher high and have ultimately a new all-time high? Well, the good thing for Ethereum is that if Bitcoin does put in a new all-time high, then Ethereum will likely be dragged up with Bitcoin. So one scenario is that the price of Bitcoin pushes higher, therefore Ethereum likely pushes higher. The other scenario is that Bitcoin does not give us any definitive direction for a few days and chills here for a little bit, and we don't really know what it's going to do. In that scenario, it would likely be a huge catalyst for Ethereum. One of the things we were talking about in a live stream recently was the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, and if you look at it on the daily time frame, which is what we like to do sometimes, right? If you look at it on the daily time frame, when did the last two pumps occur against Bitcoin? Well, this one started on January 9th, which, as we know, was a Saturday. The other one started on January 3rd, which was a Sunday. So both of the last two fairly impressive pumps by Ethereum against Bitcoin, this one being more impressive, both occurred on the weekend. And so what that implies is that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin at some point starting over the weekend, and Bitcoin is calming down over the weekend. It seems like Bitcoin's making its moves more so during the weekdays recently, and Ethereum is making substantial moves against Bitcoin over the weekend. That's at least from the last 2 weeks. Obviously, 2 data points does not define a trend, but it's just something we want to keep in mind because it is Thursday. We're coming up on the weekend. So keep it in mind. Remember, we are still, Ethereum Bitcoin is still very much on course. I know a lot of people have lost some faith in Ethereum because of the recent move, but we've always said all along that Q1 is not a week, right? Q1 is not 2 weeks. Q1 is 3 months. Then it's not like Ethereum has to trend up against Bitcoin all of Q1. I mean, there's been plenty of years where it starts moving back down before the end of Q1. But if Bitcoin stays above the 20-week for a while longer, then Ethereum stands to do quite well. Of course, we have to recognize the short-term risk. The downside risk, as we've said, is the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. This is the risk you take, even in a bull market. It's the risk you take. But if it trends higher, and your friend tells you, "Oh, you're so lucky," you tell them, "No, it was not luck. I paid the price." Right? I took on the risk. You didn't take on the risk. Therefore, you don't deserve the return. Right? So if you take on the risk, then you might yield a nice return. Okay? So it's always about there's no free lunch. You have to pay the price of admission, and the price of admission in a bull market would be the acknowledgement that the downside risk is the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. So with that said, Ethereum Bitcoin is now back at around a valuation of 0.0312. So it hasn't really changed a whole lot. One of the things we've discussed at length are the 20-month and the 50-month moving averages, because these have been so far pretty good guides for us. If you guys have followed the channel for a while, we talked about how once we break through the 20-month SMA here, we're likely going to explode upwards, and we did. We also said a month ago, back in December, that the 20-month SMA should provide some level of support for us in a bull market, and it has, just like it did back over here and here, which actually this was at the end of the bull, or the beginning of the bear market, and it has provided support. We had wicks below it, but we don't get out of bed for wicks. And so the reason why we look towards the 50-month is because that was the peak in September up here. So now the 50-month MA is around 0.0415. The price of Bitcoin's not invariant, so we know that it'll depend on that. But if we were to just multiply the price of Bitcoin times that valuation, we're looking at around a $1,500 to $1,600 Ethereum if in fact we were to reach it and the price of Bitcoin were to remain constant. So we want to remain level-headed, right? It's easy. All of us are excited, okay? Tons of us are making tons of money. I really hope you're making life-changing money during this market. And at the same time, we always want to remain pragmatic and grounded about things. We have high hopes for Ethereum. As we've showed before, it could stand to do a lot more than it currently is, even at 1240. Even at 1240, based on prior moves, there still could be a lot of gas in the tank for Ethereum, but it will ultimately depend on what Bitcoin does. Again, if Bitcoin goes up, it's good for Ether USD. Hard to say for Ether Bitcoin right now. Ether is showing strength against Bitcoin. Depends on how quickly Bitcoin goes up. If Bitcoin goes sideways, Ethereum, huge catalyst, right? Huge catalyst for Ethereum. If Bitcoin were to go sideways, is it likely to go sideways? It's hard to say. And if it goes down, we know that Ether USD would probably also go down. So those are the scenarios. Obviously, it can go up, down, or sideways. We're not making any claims as to where exactly it would go. It's more, what I find is more important how you react to the market rather than trying to figure out exactly where it's going to go in the short term. So with that said, Bitcoin's at 39.7, Ether is around 1240. The current local top for Ether is around 1350, the 52-week range. And the all-time high is over $1,400. So hopefully soon we'll be able to do an all-time high Ethereum live stream and usher in a new all-time high for Ethereum. As we've said, once we get to that, it could also go into price discovery mode like Bitcoin did when it broke its prior all-time high. So we want to remain pragmatic, but we also don't want to underestimate what Ethereum is capable of, okay? Do not underestimate what Ethereum is capable of, because it has a way of doing that, okay? Especially if you look back to the last market cycle. So hopefully this video has been informative for some people. Again, keep an eye on the downside risk, as always, but we always stand to go higher if Bitcoin's moving sideways or moving up. Okay, Ethereum always stands to go higher. There's decent chances that it has to go higher. It's not financial advice. It's just based on, looking back at the market over the last several years and analyzing what does Ethereum do at various stages of Bitcoin's market cycle. So Ether USD is looking good. Ether Bitcoin is still strong, as it usually is in January, okay? Ye of little faith. It's still strong. We can, as we said, nothing moves up monotonically, but keep an eye on it. Make sure you subscribe to catch the live streams, also to catch future videos. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel in the description below. And remember, we do have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com if you want access to exclusive content to get ideas about what I'm doing, how I'm navigating the market, weekly reports, weekly videos, the Telegram community, Telegram chat room, a Telegram alerts channel, I should say, a risk dashboard, all that sorts of stuff. Tons of value there, so make sure you check out intothecryptoverse.com. You can pay with crypto to get a 15% discount. That'll wrap it up for the video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.